Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the release notes for Rapax v1.2. We are going to focus on something that's fundamentally reshaping corporate operations, and that is native incident management. Now, if you work in network operations or IT service management, you already know your tools basically dictate the speed at which you solve problems. So let's look at how v1.2 is completely rethinking that toolkit. To understand the solution, we kind of have to look at the problem first, right? Why do modern network operations centers fail? Let's be real, the bottleneck here is rarely a lack of alerts. Modern NOCs don't fail because they're blind to issues. They fail from the immense friction of moving context across disconnected platforms. You get an alert in System A, you gotta log a ticket in System B, and then you ping an on-call engineer in System C. It is exhausting, and more importantly, it is incredibly slow.
When you mix high-volume triage with disconnected alerting systems, things get messy. You get these massive critical queue depths, you inevitably miss your SLAs, and you experience a huge loss of context as data just struggles to move from one point to another. It's a total operational drag. But the resolution Rapax is bringing to the table actually moves that Tier 1 triage layer natively into the alert pipeline. It just streamlines the whole shebang.
What is super interesting about this update is the exact number of commits, 133. To fix the systemic friction, the Rapax v1.2.0 release ships with exactly 133 commits. And these are not just minor bug fixes. These commits are structurally designed to entirely eradicate the need for third-party CMDB syncing and external API polling. They're literally cutting the cords to those disconnected external platforms that have been dragging down your mean time to resolution. Now, alongside all that deep structural hardening, v1.2 does introduce some key optional integrations, because obviously it still needs to play nicely with the tools you actually want to keep. We've got a new GLPI CMDB bridge for bidirectional synchronization, which is just fantastic for asset inventory. There's also a new Grafana dashboard integration for reporting and generating scheduled executive PDFs, an email fault collection system that handles inbound IMAP and SMTP fault emails, and even a Kafka bus alert consumer. So the flexibility is absolutely there. Section 1. Native Incident Management. Okay, this is the absolute headline feature of the release. We are eliminating MTDR delays by moving incident management natively into Rapax. Because it's built directly into the core container, we are no longer relying on a separate Salesforce or Zendesk window to handle the fallout of an alert. It actually provides two distinct interfaces. First, you have a customer portal for your end users so they can easily submit tickets, upload attachments, and even watch their own SLA countdowns. Second, you get a comprehensive support and admin UI for your internal agents, giving your team full ticket management, company filtering, and really deep insights. When you look closely at that internal support agent view, it gives you immediate native visibility. Your team doesn't have to jump back and forth between a monitoring dashboard and a ticketing queue anymore. It's completely unified. You can clearly see ticket status, priority levels across the board, and those critical red blocks indicating SLA breaches. It's designed to be instantly readable, so the second your agents log in, they know exactly where the fires are. And the system is seriously smart. Imagine a user asks a simple question about exporting a CSV. The system automatically delivers a step-by-step knowledge-based deflection and just closes the ticket. Boom, done. But if a user submits a feature request, the system correctly classifies it. It doesn't try to annoy them with a generic article. It immediately starts tracking the SLA countdown so a real human can respond. Section 2. Meet Frank, the AI. Driving all of this native intelligence is a brand new addition to the team for v1.2. The newly integrated AI-driven Tier 1 support agent. Let's officially meet Frank. Frank functions as an asynchronous background daemon. Basically what that means is he watches the incident stream like a hawk, ready to instantly triage and process every single new ticket that hits the system. And because he's an asynchronous LLM pipeline, he does all this heavy lifting without ever blocking the API response. So the system stays lightning fast for the user, while Frank does all the complex sorting behind the scenes. So how exactly does Frank think? Well, he evaluates tickets through a very strict 4-step decision tree. Step 1 is the intake check. He verifies if all the required info is there, and if it's not, he'll actually ask the user for the missing details. Step 2 is type classification. He figures out, is this a bug, a question, a task, or a feature? Step 3 is knowledge-based deflection. He queries Wade's SOC-scoped knowledge base to see if he can just solve it right then and there. And finally, step 4 is escalation. If he can't solve it, he bumps it up to a human. Now, this is a critical safety feature. Frank is specifically designed to fail closed. So, say a user just submits the phrase, "the app crashed." That intake information is totally incomplete. Frank knows he can't confidently solve that, and he's not going to guess. Instead, he immediately executes a forced escalation. He pages the on-call human engineers and leaves a clear note explaining exactly why human review is required.
Section 3. Key benefits and value.
Let's zoom out a bit. We've seen the architecture, we've met Frank. Let's talk about the actual operational value this drives for your organization. By keeping all your tickets native to Rapax, you unlock some incredibly tight features through the RBlock feature sets that are layered on top of this AI pipeline. For example, R1 gives you 10 megabyte file attachments stored right in the file system. R3 implements automated SLA breach detection sweeps every 300 seconds. And maybe the most powerful one, R2 gives you the Grace on-call escalation API. This means Frank can directly page your on-call engineers via SMS or email the exact moment an SLA is breached or a forced escalation happens. No third-party paging service required whatsoever. When you translate all those features into the support UI, your agents get this really amazing view. There's a dedicated Frank Insights panel where agents can see the exact human-readable reason why Frank escalated a ticket, like an incomplete intake, missing the app version, and reproduction steps, for example. And right above that, you have live SLA countdowns on every single ticket. It completely removes the guesswork for your Tier 2 and Tier 3 engineers. So, if you take away nothing else from this explainer today, remember this core message. Simplify the stack. Enforce SLAs natively. Eliminate MTTR delays. The ultimate value of the 1.2 release is drastically simplifying your technology stack. By moving that Tier 1 triage layer directly into the alert pipeline with Frank, you aren't just saving money on external software licenses. You are fundamentally accelerating how fast you can respond to critical network events. Section 4. Start the conversation. If managing context across external ticketing platforms is dragging down your knock, if you are tired of alerts firing in one place and tickets getting lost in another, it is truly time to upgrade. You can explore the full technical capabilities, read the complete release notes, and check out the documentation for the V1.2 release by visiting rapax.app. Or if you want to get straight to discussing how this fits into your specific environment, just connect with the team directly by emailing sales@rapax.app. I want to leave you with one final thought to reflect on today. Take a really hard look at your current operations. Ask yourself, are you truly resolving issues faster? Or are your engineers just spending their days moving data between disconnected platforms? Thanks for joining me for this explainer on Rapax v1.2. Stay curious and keep optimizing.